On this week's episode of Teachers Off Duty, we are talking about, hear ye,
rules for thee, but not for me.
so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Teachers Off Duty. I am Jess Smith, and with me today, I am honored. Deeply honored.
Don't you condescend us.
Humbled.
You don't even teach middle school. How are you having this sarcasm like this?
Not
Elementary teachers are very serious.
because it's coming from a true heart.
Honored.
Honored.
Spell it.
You.
Do you want to?
Who are you? Tell the people, because I want to share
You're
your
honored?
presence.
To be around me?
I know.
Are y'all good, bro? Like, tell these folks what your name is.
My name.
Why'd you say it like that?
My name.
My name.
My name. So let me tell you a little story.
Oh no! Just
Let me
this is Gabe Dannenbring. Okay.
I am Bri, honest teacher vibes.
She did such a good job. Keep it in honor.
Your friend's about to go to it.
So there was an angel named Gabriel, and then that's what I was named after. So my name is Gabe Dannenbring. Nice to meet everybody. Happy to be here. It's an honor. It's awesome.
Did you tell him to say it fast? Say it fast 5 times.
Try to get that in.
I
names.
was gonna really draw that one out and make it really long and elaborate, but I decided
Thank you.
I'm not going to.
But somehow you're continuing to talk about it.
So because when it was in my head, I was like, oh, this could be really, really good. And then as I thought about it, you said that you were honored to be around us. Yeah. I was like, wow, that's incredible. That is that. And then I saw Bri over there, and I was like, it is an honor to be around me. No, not.
He didn't switch it up there. Normally he redirects the plane, but he landed it.
I'm happy to be here.
Me too.
I love it.
working with
So
y'all.
happy that you guys
I
are
took my horse
here.
all the way from South Dakota here. All the way.
I can believe
I
that.
said, yeah, we galloped all the way down. All the way.
Speaking of galloping all the way down,
Whoa.
That has nothing to do with that.
No, it doesn't at all. But we have a bunch of dates for October, for the rest of October.
I thought you guys were talking about
I was like, are we doing like fast dating?
we
What is
can
it
go on a
called?
date.
Speed dating.
What is it called? I was like, are we
Speed
doing
dating?
speed dating?
That is
I was like, you both have.
That is a stuff of
spouses,
nightmares.
but I'm single as a jaybird.
Hey. Hey.
We outside. Anyway,
We have some dates left for October, this October, November, and December. And then we close out 2024 and we move on to those 2025 dates with the
whole
Board
government.
Teachers Comedy Tour. Okay, so for the rest of October, October 24th, we are going to be in Lexington, Kentucky, Columbus, Ohio, Northfield, Ohio, and Charleston, West Virginia. And then going into November, we're going to be in Glenside, PA, Huntington, New York, Montclair, New Jersey, Easton, Pennsylvania. And then the next weekend, we're going to be in Champaign, Illinois.
ooh, fancy.
Peoria? Peoria, I think that's how you say it.
No,
What are you
I'm sorry.
doing?
You said champagne.
What are you
I
doing?
went-
I was like, Peoria didn't pop any.
Oh, that was, I can tell you teach middle school.
Don't make me laugh. She's our teacher that's trying to get us under control.
Peoria.
Chicago, Illinois, Indianapolis, Indiana. And then in December, we are going to be in Charlottesville, Virginia, Tysons, Virginia, and Red Bank, New Jersey.
Woo.
Please go grab your tickets at boardteachers.com/comedy tour.
Not //
I like the. What do they ever use a backslash for?
I feel like I hear / more than I do //
I think I heard // more.
Really?
I don't think I've. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Should we
alternate-
spend this entire episode talking about / or forward?
Okay.
We're gonna talk about commas and.
Also, very, very exciting. We are going to the United Kingdom.
Yay!
Yes.
Whoa!
United Kingdom, here we come.
Wow.
I heard that the Prince and Princess might be coming.
Whoa.
Just kidding.
I was
I
like,
made that
that's
up.
a
Please
lie.
don't.
I actually can guarantee it.
Can you, Kendall?
I heard
They said
From-
if Gabe Dannenbring is coming.
from sources that they will be there.
He's
So
lying,
get
y'all.
your hopes up.
Get your hopes up.
And if they just so happen not to be there, you should definitely blame the comedians.
Also,
Gabe.
I'm kidding.
They're all gonna
They
throw
won't be
tomatoes
there.
at you.
They won't be there.
so February 7th, we are going to be in London starting February 7th, Glasgow February 9th, Birmingham February 11th, and Manchester on February 12th.
Nice.
I am so excited.
So excited.
I'm so excited for those shows. I'm
Maybe
so
you'll
excited
see the
for
characters from Peaky Blinders. You know, that was like set in Birmingham, England.
You know what? Like I feel like I would love to meet.
They fine.
Yeah.
They fine. It's wine.
Hey, yo. Or you might
like
meet
Gabe
that
could've
dumb
been
Harry
part
Potter.
Oh my gosh, not Harry Potter
Y'all
again.
edit that out. Your
my
hatred
God.
for Harry Potter.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever student was going to bring a Ouija board.
Yeah,
bring it.
so
He's scared of him. Bring it.
so UK, we are coming to you. Go grab your tickets now. Those are going to go
That's cool.
very fast.
As they say across the pond, they will sell out very quickly.
That was the worst.
That's just what they say. They say they'll sell out quickly. That's what they say across the pond.
What the kids be doing? Awkward turtle. That's a lie. They don't do that.
We're going to awkward turtle our way right into this episode. This episode, we are talking about rules. Oh, you had a good title for this one.
On this episode, we're talking about rules for thee, but not for me. We're
Explain.
okay. So
Somebody's
here's
gonna
what
be
they're
"Don't
like.
be
Wait a
jerk."
second.
How
No.
come?
So what we're talking about today are rules that take place in the school that apply to certain parties, but not other parties. So that can be rules that apply to students, but not teachers. Rules that apply to admin, but not teachers, or rules that apply to teachers, but not parents or custodial staff. I don't know. So there's all types of different people in the building that have different sets of rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
And oftentimes, especially students will let the adult know, like, hey,
How come?
how come you can do that, but I get a talking to by the principal if I do that?
Because I have a bachelor's degree, kid.
It's a get out of jail free card.
Nope.
Is what I heard.
Nope. Sent me straight to jail.
Bachelor's degree.
Yeah, sorry, officer, don't worry. Bachelor's degree, health education, Minnesota State Moorhead, 2019.
I just got student loans. I didn't get that
keep the
one.
cuffs,
That's what I'm saying.
Keep the
Like-
cuffs in your pocket. You can't you can still do that. Oh, I thought it was a get out of jail free
You're
card.
going to jail.
I heard that on the
No.
Teachers Off Duty podcast.
Do
You
not-
going to
not
don't
pass
ever
go.
quote us. You going to jail?
We don't know him.
Yeah, we
him.
gonna tell him we don't know you. I ain't never seen you. Matter of fact, I did see him. They stole something out of my car in the teacher parking lot. It's him, sir. It was him. Can you point out the defendant? It's him. It was him. He was wearing some Nike slides and they was leaning to the side, and his sweatshirt had a little snag in it from where it looked like his dog bit him in the side, and had a little ketchup stain on the front of it. It was him, and a bad haircut. Zimp. I'm not talking. Gabe's like, why'd you just give a description
So
of me?
I was trying to get a haircut before I came to this recording session. I couldn't get in because I was so busy coaching
You
and
have
teaching.
Head and Shoulders hair.
Like
know-
Troy Polamalu.
I don't know who that
And
is.
Patrick
but
Mahomes,
I don't know these people, but you know the Head and Shoulders commercial. What were you doing?
Appreciate that.
I was being Troy Polamalu.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Big curly hair.
We're so sleepy.
Beautiful, I know. I know.
So one of the things, like when we were talking about this, like what are rules that students have, but teachers don't always have to follow those rules? And I thought of a big one. Like at my school, we are pretty much zero tolerance on cell phones. Kids cannot have their cell phones. If
Right.
we see it, we say put it away. If we see it again, we take it and then get it at the end of the day from our classroom, or if we have continuing issues, we bring it to the office and then parents will end up picking it up.
Yeah.
So students, and I understand where they're coming from, will say, how come you, teacher, can be on your phone during class, but if I do it, I get in trouble?
I'm like, use your deductive reasoning skills and tell me why you think. Let's try some critical thinking here. You tell me, let's do a quick write on it. You tell me why you think I can have my phone and you can't, because I'm not playing Candy Crush or Minecraft. I'm trying to text your parents and let them know you won't stop sleeping in here.
It's like, let's write a CER about this. Claim evidence reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay. Because,
I do teach.
That was a good acronym. That was,
I
Thank you.
will say that stuff like that, I do talk to the kids about it because they genuinely want to know. Like sometimes they are
Yeah.
being a little facetious, but sometimes they
Yep.
literally like are like, how can I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like why is it? And that's where we have like a reasonable conversation.
And it's about perspective. Like what I'll tell students about that is I'll always tell them, you might see me go on my phone and check something
Yep.
because I have a little bit more responsibility than you do as a child. I'm an adult.
Right.
Troll.
Yeah. And like I'm not sitting there scrolling on
Right.
social media.
Right.
If a teacher is scrolling on social media and the students are in class and they see that, that is a problem.
Yes,
like,
they're gonna
that
be like,
isn't-
why do I get
little
to?
bit.
Yeah,
why
like
can't I?
don't do that. You shouldn't be scrolling if you don't
Because
want
the
your
kids will
students
tell
to.
us when because they see it. Because if a sub does that, they're like, Miss Richardson, the sub just sat in here and was on her phone the whole time. I'm like, what? That's crazy. Because when I was a sub, me too. Yeah, it's boring in here. I don't know. I can't. There's only so many novels I can read while you guys are working on your assignment. Okay, I may or may not play Monopoly Go.
Colleen Hoover only writes so many books.
It's Frida McFadden now. Calm down. Have you read her?
oh yeah.
Bro,
Is she the one now?
her books are so
good.
good. Sorry,
I'm not going to
sidetrack.
read any of them. Jonathan Haidt is the book I'm reading. It's The Anxious Generation. Heard it's real good.
This is gonna make me anxious to read that, so I'm not going to.
Yeah. I think when it comes to like some teachers aren't allowed to have their phones at all either. So like that rule
Where?
like a lot of schools,
They can't have their phones?
period. Like
How are
they
they
have
supposed
to
to
be away.
Communicate if something happens in the room.
Email?
Okay.
Snail mail.
Okay.
Phone?
Send an owl? How like
Sending a fax? I don't know.
like why can't they are there schools where y'all can't have y'all's phones?
I mean, we're not like at our school. If a principal walked in for a drop-in and I was on my phone like this, they would look at me sideways, and I think they would be like, "I trust that you're doing something
with
that
a parent,
you
right.
really need to do,
Right.
Yeah.
but we'd really rather you not be looking at your phone during class."
Right.
But I always at my desk, I keep my phone like this. Like my phone is on a little thing in case I'm like, oh, I got an email or oh, I got a text message. I got to
Yeah.
do it. I'm not sitting there. Scrolling.
That's what I'm about to say. I feel like you can see when you walk in whether a teacher, if we are on our phone. Let me tell you something. The times I had to Google a definition of something, if you come in and I'm Googling the definition with my phone in my hand, that's on you, big dog. I can. I ain't even gonna show you my phone. I'm gonna carry on with what I was doing, and if I'm stressed about it, I'm gonna say, so I'm looking up this definition real quick. Like I don't. Now, if you get caught, say you was on the phone with a parent. Oh no, I was texting a parent. Like I don't know.
Texting Jimmy's mom. I promise.
But I also feel like some of these are rules that like kids have to follow that we don't, but it's also rules that the kids have to follow that we also should follow ourselves.
Yes.
So for example, we tell the kids, don't talk while I'm talking, but in a staff meeting, definitely may or may not be whispering a little something quickly or not quickly to my teacher bestie.
The immediate mirroring that I feel when I'm sitting in a staff meeting, bored
It
out
is.
of
Yes,
my mind.
yes.
And you're in that like giggle mood. If I was like sitting next to you in a staff meeting,
We both going to
There-
jail.
Teacher jail.
like
We getting in trouble.
our behavior. If
can't.
I was the teacher,
I don't
this
sit.
was the
I try not
behavior,
to sit next
I
to
would-
anybody that I'm friends with at a staff meeting because
Hmm.
I cannot. I have zero chill whatsoever. And by the time we have a staff meeting at the end of the day, my ADHD medicine has worn off. So I have to work hard to pay attention.
That's my
cannot
favorite Bri.
sit by-
That's my favorite Bri is ADHD deprived,
It's
medicine
a
deprived.
loose cannon. Do
It
you
is
hear me?
awesome.
It is riotous. I don't even know if that's
Whoa.
a word. I don't even know if that's a word, but
Riotous?
it is.
Someone
It's
used
a
their
riot,
phone
bro. I don't know.
Look it
Like,
up.
it's
Look
a
it up.
riot. They're like, Miss Richardson, I'm looking at riotous. I don't think that's a word. But no, I can't. Like, I can't sit by my teacher bestie.
I
at staff
I
meeting.
hate when I'm in a staff meeting and somebody tries to have a conversation with me and like our
Makes me
bosses are
feel
talking.
awkward.
I hate it with passion.
It makes me
Oh,
feel awkward.
and maybe it's because like I want to say I'm a rule follower, but I just know what it feels like.
Yeah.
When you're in the when
awkward.
roles are reversed.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like
that's very true.
And it's also like, hey, that's our boss who's
Right.
talking. Like,
Yes.
let's shut
and
up.
some people, they don't care either.
They
'Cause
don't.
I'm like, I may whisper something when they pause, but there are some people that they so and
Yeah,
they
I'm like-
continue, please stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I'm at the table with them. They're not even talking to me, but them and the person next to me are whispering to each other. Shut up.
Yes.
Because it looks like we're talking. I wasn't
Yeah.
talking. That was them.
They're
That's when
definitely
we
like
turn
certain
into the
teachers.
kids.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I got reprimanded because of y'all, and I wasn't even talking. That's how the kids
She
feel.
said, "Be
Yeah.
quiet."
There,
Yeah.
the amount of teacher arguing that there would be if you had to turn. But there are times where I have wanted to be like,
Shut the hell
man,
up.
please shut up.
Yeah.
And then I don't be wanting to seem rude that they trying to talk to me, and that I didn't turn to look at them. But I'm like, literally, I'm scared right now.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, go
I
ahead.
think it's like I think that's an innate teacher thing too, because you've been there, you've been in the shoes of like
Yes.
someone who is really putting their heart out
Yeah.
there, and no one's paying attention. It's like the flight attendant when they give their little like speech,
And you always pay
and you're
attention
like,
to the
yeah,
Yeah, I made that video
you
one
made
time.
that video, and I was like, yes. Every single time I smile, I'm like, good job! Like you put the
I be
inflatable
on my
over your
phone.
head.
I take my headphones off. I make eye contact. I'm like, I know how it feels
Aw.
every day to feel like you're given important information,
Aw.
and you look out into the abyss, and all you see are
heads
heads
down.
bobbing
Yeah.
down, and no one paying attention. Like I get it. I know
Yeah.
how. And
because
yeah,
if this plane goes down, we're all gonna die. So the information you're giving me is irrelevant.
that is
If this plane hit the water, we're
elephant in
dead.
the room. You're right.
We're dead.
Yeah.
So
Yep. But I don't know. Like, it's just hard because I've also been in staff meetings when you see and hear the table that just keeps yapping while
Yes, it's stressful.
someone is
I'm like, please
presenting
shut
or
up.
your bosses are talking, and everyone's like, "Yo, like, come on, like, let's
be quiet.
chill out with that."
Right.
Like, I'm glad you're having fun, but
why?
wrap her up.
Shut
yeah,
up.
why?
Yeah, wrap it up. Be quiet.
But I also say that with my school, where whenever our bosses are talking, it's something that has value to it. It's something that we need to know.
Yep.
There are, I'm sure, plenty of schools when their bosses start yapping, they're like, here we go. Yep, we get it. We get it. We understand that the blue folder is for the blood. Well, we
Like,
get
why
it.
are you telling us something we already know?
Yeah.
But even at that point, I still feel awkward to talk. Even if it's somebody I feel like they're wasting my time, I feel awkward to talk. Because even if it's like the kids, when we tell them to be quiet and they try to whisper, bro, I can't hear you. That was me, I wasn't talking. Your lips are moving.
saw you.
I was talking to myself. Well, can you talk to yourself quietly?
I won't even multitask when they're presenting. I won't even be like on my computer, like trying to do stuff.
Whoa!
I don't know what it is.
The way my ADHD set up, I got to be doing something while
Really?
I can literally regurgitate everything that they've said if I'm looking at them and just sitting there zoned completely out.
Really?
If I have to either be writing down everything that they're saying, or I have to be doing something. If I even when I'm at church, I have to like write stuff down, because if I'm just sitting there, I looked over one day, my best friend, she was just sitting there watching everything the pastor was saying. I was like, bro, the way that I would be zoned out if I didn't put pen to paper. But staff meeting also reminds me of, like, we are literally a representation of the kids.
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
The stuff that we tell them not to do, we literally go to staff meeting and we do it.
And we do
Yep.
it.
Or the stuff that we say when we're like tiffed that they're late to our class, and I'm like, well, that's how your principal felt when
Yep.
you were supposed to be at your duty post, and you came traipsing in 4 or 5 minutes later, and like it was irrelevant. And it's like, your kids need to be on time. Like,
All of a sudden, we're
this is
showing
coming
up.
from somebody who like had to work hard to make sure I was on time,
Mm-hmm.
because it always would catch me by like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, come on, bro, that's bad time management. Like, you leave your house 5 minutes earlier or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yep. All of
Yeah.
a sudden, we're showing up late. We're sneaking food. We're sneaking off to the bathroom to go walk around the school and go on adventure. We're talking to the people next to us. I'm like, oh, those are all the things that put me over the edge.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm on my Chromebook typing something. It's like, oh, I'm just like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, I am just as bad.
Yeah. The amount of times that I would probably, like, if we had the opportunity to go to the bathroom more, the amount of times
Right,
that
'cause
I
I
would
was
like
like, who's sneaking to the
slip
bathroom?
out
I
of the
got
bathroom
it.
to go to the bathroom and just like zone out on my phone for a little bit, just like 5 minutes.
I was like,
Just 5 minutes
right,
zone
if we
out.
could. It's like, you better pee
Someone's
and
in
wash your hands in 30
here.
seconds. Right.
Oh.
Because if we send our kids to the bathroom, they be going on a long adventure.
Oh my God.
I'm like, hey, did you go with Frodo to Mordor? Like, what are you doing? Hurry up. Why you go? Why? And some kids will straight up, I was pooping. Okay.
Hey.
If you ever want to get out of a teacher asking you why you was in the bathroom, just say you was taking a doo-doo.
Pro tip. Yep.
I won't ask you nothing else.
We just started e-hall pass at my school.
I'm sorry?
E-hall pass. Have you heard about that?
Like a virtual hall pass?
It's a program called e-hall pass. So it has really shut down kids wandering around the halls because they log into their Chromebook, and if they have to go somewhere, they hit like, here's where I'm going, and there's a certain amount of kids that can go at a time. It is awesome.
Your school is.
It is. What?
That's
so
high
we
tech.
just got
What?
it. And it
It's
has.
like when we found out about NetRef and we could look at all their computers
Yeah,
up at our
yeah.
Guardians.
So
It
you
has-
don't have to obey me, but you can obey your computer.
It has deterred so much of kids wandering around, meeting up at bathrooms, doing stuff like that.
Interesting.
Because it'll be like, no, you can't go to the bathroom now because it's full. And then kids will be like,
Whoa.
hey, it's saying it's full. I'm like, and? Like,
Because they have to click on that before they
yeah,
can
it's
leave.
like, it's full.
Any
Wait.
parents like been like,
We haven't had, and it'll come. It'll come
Yeah.
where Johnny said it was an emergency and you didn't let him go, and that conversation will come.
Yeah.
But most teachers know when Johnny's doing the I gotta pee dance, they'll actually send Johnny.
Yeah.
But it seems like the ones that always have an emergency, wow, you have an emergency all the time. Do you have to see the nurse? Like, that is kind of something that teachers say.
Yeah.
Because, like, believe it or not, kids are not angels, and they want to go walk around the hallway and cause issues.
I want to walk
That
around the
happens.
hallway during staff
I know.
meetings when I
Yeah.
start zoning out and I'm
Yeah.
wrong. So I know.
I get it.
I have never related to the kids more than when
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a meeting and somebody is talking about something that is just droning on and on and on and on. And I'm like, at this point, I'm finna get in trouble on purpose so I can leave. Like, I understand some of
Were
the
you
kids.
that kid? Were you-
Yes,
really?
bro, because I'm finna be that teacher. Because I'm tired of
Yeah.
sitting through a meeting. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm finna fall out my desk and say I fainted or something. Not the kids be saying they need to go to the nurse for stuff. Oh, my head hurt.
same.
And go to the nurse. Me too, kid. Me too.
I'll go with you.
Yeah. One of the other things I have here is food and drinks in class. Like my school, we only allow water, and then kids can have a healthy snack. So, like kids, like if they walk in with a Starbucks drink, we're like, hey, you got to cash that. Like you can't, you got to.
Your kids be coming in with Starbucks?
Sometimes they
Bring
will.
me some. You can
Yeah.
keep yours.
Yeah, right? Let's work
I won't
something
tell
out.
anybody.
Yeah, let's work something out here.
Pay the teacher tax.
Yeah.
So, and kids will sometimes tell me like, how come you can have coffee, but I can't have a soda? And once again, it's like, hey, it's because I'm an adult. And a lot of times when kids have sodas,
I don't
they're
know what you
spilling
put in
everywhere. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Some schools, too, you have to, like, some schools, the kids can't have, unless it's like a clear water bottle or something.
Yeah.
Because kids, nowadays, they have, like, a lot more access to certain substances. And they come in all different forms, and I don't know if that's vodka in that Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper bottle.
Yeah.
But then that's a story as old as time of kids sneaking things in their water bottles. Like that has been for years
Right.
and years
That's
and
not-
years.
that's not anything
It's not
new.
like, oh, this generation, they're just
Nah, they've been doing that.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
like, that's
There's
like,
nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
If anything, they're probably doing it a little less.
I would probably say so. Or I hear old people be like, oh, these kids, they're vaping in the bathroom. I can't believe they're doing this.
Like you smoked cigarettes in the
Yeah.
parking lot when you were 10. Shut
Smoking
up.
in the boys' room. Ever heard the song? Like this is
Like,
nothing
okay,
new.
boomer. Like, shut up.
I watched Grease, okay?
Nothing about those kids were teenagers. Them is the grownest looking kids I have ever seen.
Danny Zuko, 17 years old. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
Okay.
The kid, but it's
Okay.
because the kids that they have now play kids. They actually look like kids. I'm
Yes.
like, you mean to tell me when we watched Grease, y'all tried to convince me a
was a
35-year-old was
35-year-old.
16, and I was falling for it because Pony Boy was for show. I got chills, they're multiplying.
And I'm losing control.
I like how your hair shook a little bit in the front.
Power. You're supplying.
There's some students watching this right now, and they're like, "What the heck are they talking about?"
All right, so one of the I like Grease a lot because
Grease
when
is
I
bomb.
when I was a child, my mom and we would watch Grease and Star Wars. Like we would always that was always what we watched.
Yeah.
So. I know my Grease and I know my Star Wars. And I was going to make a Star Wars reference a couple times already, but I decided not to.
Thank you.
You're-
'Cause I have
I
no
knew
idea.
my audience.
It's gonna go
time and
job.
place.
Look at you.
Thank you.
Some people don't. And I'm like, the PD presenter that stands up there and presents from a PowerPoint and tells us not to teach from a PowerPoint. Know your audience.
Isn't it funny when you have people teaching you how to teach will present that information in the way that is
they're
like
telling
the
you not to.
Yeah, it's ironic. It's ironic. I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
I need some hands-on.
Yeah. Here's another one. Turning things in on time.
I got that exactly.
You got that right.
Bro, I got that written down. Turn your work in on time.
Yeah. All right, well, you say yours. How do you feel about
Dude,
that?
because I like the same way it applies to the kids. I know that it should apply to us, but sometimes as teachers, I feel like we can turn it in on time if we had less stuff to do. Like, I don't know, and maybe the kids feel like that, but I'm like, no, like we gave it to you in this class period. You sat there and stared off in space 45 minutes, so you couldn't turn it in on time.
Right.
I'm an adult. I ain't got 45 minutes to stare off in space because this is my job and I got stuff that I got to submit. So it's not like, I think that there are some people that like they will turn stuff in late just because they want to, but a lot of people that's turning stuff in late, when did we have time to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's where it's different between adults and kids. Like some of the stuff that we have to do, a lot of times as teachers, we have too much stuff to do, and it's not a time management thing. It's that I didn't have any time.
Well, and also like maybe some of the things that we are tasked to turn in aren't necessarily relevant to pushing us further or helping us understand information. Like the reason that we're asking you to turn your work in on time is because we need to assess where your learning is at.
Yeah.
And like if I'm just, turning in this form and don't forget to do this, like it's
But
not
I
really
think-
helping me.
Well, I think maybe the kids, literally being a teacher and like staff meetings and that kind of stuff, and my like response to certain things really helps me understand where the kids are coming from. Because
Right.
we think that some of the stuff that we get, we're like, why do we have to do this? I have so many other things that are like pertinent to like I have other things to do.
Yeah.
And the kids in their mind, even though to us as teachers, we're like, what else could you have to do other than being in my class paying attention right now? We have the same perspective that they do, just in different contexts. They have it in the context of their 12 or 13-year-old mind because they've been in the world for 12 or 13 years. We have it in the context as an adult with other responsibilities and things that we have to prioritize. So I think that I know we joke about this, but I think that we are more like the kids than we realize. We're
Yeah.
not that far
Oh.
removed from each other.
No.
Like
Yeah.
we
When I
deal
get-
with similar things just in different contexts.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I get told to open up the book to page 69, I sometimes bite my tongue. I'm just kidding. No, but
No, that's for real though.
Yeah.
Because I know we're teachers, but like it don't matter high school, middle, or elementary. We're all grown. Why are you saying 69? You could have said turn to page 68 and then go forward one page. Come on, know your
There's a
audience.
way to do it.
Know your
Strategy,
audience.
strategy.
Don't expect us to be adults.
Yeah, there's been times where like I'll have an admin that'll say, "Hey, you got to have this completed by X date." And there's some times where I'm like, gosh, I'm so overwhelmed, I can't get this done. Or there's other times when an admin will say, hey, this is late, get this to me by the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I did drop the ball on that.
Yeah.
I can hold myself accountable
Yeah.
enough to be like,
Yeah, I'll do
crap,
that.
you're
I used
right.
to-
I should have done this.
Yeah, I used to complain all the time about report card comments. I knew that they were coming.
Yeah.
Every single quarter, I knew they were coming, and I would wait last minute.
Yeah.
It's like what
I
grades
couldn't-
are due.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like it's
Oops.
that thing of just like I can't mentally
Yeah.
take that on right now, but I would have to stay up until like 3 a.m. putting in those comments.
Us being
And-
like, we work well under pressure. Our kids are like, us too.
That's me,
I'm like, well, I'm not going to let you work under pressure. Do it now.
That's
I'm like,
me gaslighting myself. I'm like, oh man, I work
work
so
so under
much better
pressure.
under pressure.
As you're
like,
crying,
yeah.
writing the comments.
I'm so tired.
It's like what you said, showing up to the staff meeting late. It's like you knew the time.
Yeah.
Wake up 15 minutes earlier. And I've been guilty of that. I've had so
Every
many.
adult that works is guilty of being
Oh,
late to
yeah.
work.
I've-
If somebody says they ain't never been late to work, you lying.
Yeah. Or
You lying, or you a sociopath.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know. Like you've been maybe you've been 30 seconds late. I don't know though. I think I know some people that probably can say they ain't never been late.
Yeah.
That
I
was
saw something
delusion in my
on-
own mind.
I saw something on TikTok, and it asked a bunch of people how late to showing up to work is late.
Whatever
Yes.
time is your clock in time.
And that was one of the things people said. So
Yeah.
how late is late? What do you think?
if you didn't clock in by the time you were supposed to clock in.
So 1 minute, like you're late to work.
Yes.
Yeah,
If
okay.
you're supposed to clock in at 7:10, you clock in at 7:11. You late.
Yep. Okay. What do you think?
5.
You think 5?
What?
Yeah. There.
Why didn't they just say work starts at 7:15 then? This is coming from somebody who's late and I have to
Chronically
work
late.
hard.
Yeah.
Not being late, but what is
You
it?
would be amazed at the answers that people said.
What they say? What?
Oh, I mean, I've
Because
had
her
people.
5 minutes shocked me. I'm like,
Yeah.
you look like somebody that's always on time to
I mean,
work.
I am like,
But to you, 5 minutes after is late?
yeah. Like I feel like there's a window. Like if you
Well,
say,
I think they would have put that in the contract if there was a window. You can come in at this time.
Okay,
It's flexible. It's like 70 is the speed limit, but it's flexible. Nope, you go
Okay.
on 75, you're gonna get
like
a ticket.
there were times that I would be driving into work and I would be just on time. Like, and I'm like, I really need a coffee.
But then
Do
are
I
you still late?
Need it? No. But I was like, okay, like I could, if the line's long, then I won't. But if it's 2 cars deep, I'll go and get my coffee. And then I'll be
Same,
like
though.
3 minutes late.
So you're still late.
But I have coffee.
What are you talking about, bro?
Late without coffee is worse than really late with coffee.
Agreed.
Bang.
I'm never gonna disagree
Put
with
that
that.
on a t-shirt.
I'm never gonna disagree with that. But but you still would be late though. Like on paper, I guess you're still late. But in your mind, you're
but
not
I guess,
late.
like, no one was like watching me come in.
Obviously. No, but not.
I've heard stories of that,
But
though.
like in
I've
your
heard stories
mind-
of
oh,
admin
yeah.
doing that.
But no, like in
Yeah.
your mind, are you saying like I know I am technically late, or are you saying no? In my mind, like I'm not late until 7:15.
I want to be completely transparent. The 0 to 5 minutes that I am late, I am anxiety, panic ridden
me too.
inside of my body. I do it to myself every single time.
Me too. I always underestimate how
Yeah.
much time I actually have.
Yeah.
I have to work hard to not be late.
Yeah, I've been on this planet for 26 years. You would think by now I could figure out how to like be on time for certain things, and I still find ways to be late.
It's like doing daylight savings time math. It's like
Yeah.
it's only 1 hour forward and 1 hour back, but everybody all of a sudden can't tell time during daylight savings time. That's how we're trying to calculate what time I need to leave my house in order to be on time for work. So I finally just got to the point where I was like, I got to tell myself this is the time that work starts, because if I tell myself, so we have to be clocked in at 7:10.
You clock in every time you go?
Yeah, we have to clock in.
Oh, really?
But
Oh, see, if that happened, I would definitely
Yeah.
not be late.
y'all don't have to clock in.
No.
What?
Salary.
We're
yeah,
salary.
Yeah.
Mississippi. No, but we have to.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, if that was happening, I'd
Okay,
be
so
like,
that's why I'm saying, okay, so this in my mind now it makes sense, because
Yeah.
context is
Yeah.
key. If I ain't have to clock in, no, I ain't late. What you mean?
or I could do one of those things. If I was late, what I would do is I would go to my classroom, like set all my stuff down and like, lollygag for a little bit longer in my classroom and then be like, oh, I forgot to clock in.
Oh, no.
And
Now,
they'd
see,
probably
we-
be like, oh, look at the camera.
Uh-huh.
Who's looking at the camera?
One of the things that gives me anxiety is when, like, if I have to pick something up for class in the morning from like Target or Walmart or something, I will be like,
Who's going to the store before work? What time y'all start work at 10?
7:45.
Dang, my boy, hey, you got time to go to Target or something. The
So-
way I get lost in there and be for real late for work.
Yeah.
I can't
Oh,
go
yeah.
to Target.
Yeah,
before-
but there'll be times where in the morning I'm like, I'm here for work, and if I show up 15 minutes late, my admin could press me for it. But I'm like, no, I was on the clock grabbing stuff from Target, but then I'm like, or I could have just been more prepared and got this the night before. Like I could have just planned this all way better.
It's like the delusion of it all. I'm like, oh, I'll just pick that up after school.
Yeah.
And then I end up at home in my pajamas after school, and I'm like,
Immediately.
dang.
Or the amount of times that I've thought, you know what, tomorrow's gonna be the day. Yeah, I'll get to school like an hour early tomorrow, and then I roll in like 5 minutes late. I'm like, how did I do this again?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be late and I was sitting in the parking lot before I was ever, like I got into the parking lot. School started at 7:10. I was sitting in the parking lot at 7 o'clock. My ADHD, I lost track of time and I clocked in at 7:12. One of the teachers the other day was like, Richardson, I literally saw you in the parking lot at 7 a.m. I was like, I got distracted.
See, and if I was an admin and I'm having a staff meeting and there's people that are always coming in late and they don't have a valid excuse. If you got to have kid drop off, you get that. I get it. I get that. Like there's that side.
Right.
But if you don't have a valid excuse, if your excuse is I just can't get up in the morning. If I was an admin, I'd be like,
anybody ever gives their principal that response.
Well, I mean, there are people that like they get that way, you know. It's like,
But they say that out loud to their principal.
they won't say it out loud, but they know in their heart of hearts
These are
that
some
that's their
ballsy
excuse.
folks, man. Hey, I'm sorry. I just couldn't hit up on time. I hit snooze like multiple times. It seems like I'm being really judgmental. I'm not. I'm judging myself because I am always, like before this year, I was chronically late. This year, I have genuinely worked. And when I say chronically late, I mean like clocking in 2 minutes after, like at 7:12, and then getting to my duty post at 7:13 when I'm supposed to be there at 7:10.
Yeah.
It's like minutes of that I could have just managed those minutes better. But something in my ADHD mind always overestimates the amount of time I actually have to get stuff done, or overestimates how fast I can get somewhere, or like I think that we all as adults struggle with being late to places, but I do think that if you don't clock in at the time that it says you're
late. A minute late's a minute late.
Yeah.
So I want to get to the point where I'm the type where it's like 10 minutes early is on time.
That's how I am right now.
I want to get to that point. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But I want to get to. I want to be that teacher who's able to be like, oh, I can get there 30 minutes early. Get my stuff ready in the morning. I'm just not there.
One thing I ain't never gonna be.
I don't know if I'll ever be that. And some people are, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Never gonna be 30 minutes early.
The only way that I would.
I try. I'm still trying the 7 o'clock thing.
Yeah.
So I said that I was like, that's what I'm doing. I'm like, no, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay, but more days
Also,
out of
that's
not.
a really early start time.
That is really early.
I ain't gonna lie to you, big dog. I can't hold you because it is an early start time.
When I used to try to be at the school at 7:15 when we would have to be there at 7:40, just so I could get my
Get your
my
bearings,
life
yeah.
together. But
It's
7.
That's why my brain be dead after school and y'all be texting me and I don't be responding. 'Cause I'm like, I can't think. You're a wizard, Harry. Like, I can't think of nothing. It's like a Twilight Zone.
So, talking about drama, like we tell our students, stop gossiping. Stop talking about the drama. Stop. Just mind your business. But as teachers, when we start hearing people gossiping, we're like,
What'd you say?
let me shut the door real quick. Let me shut the door.
Body leans into a door jamb to hear the story, or close the door, and I shuffle my way right over.
The way I will speed walk like little old ladies at the mall to get to my best friend's classroom, tell her something, girl. Close the door, close the door, close the door.
Those, I'm telling you, it's something in my brain. It's like an endorphin release.
It's a little morsel that I needed to get through the day.
Yes. When someone says, you are not going to believe what I just heard. Give me.
Me to the next person. Now, they said don't say nothing, but I figured I could tell you. Just know this. There are some married couples that if you tell the wife, you have also told the husband. Have y'all seen that couple on TikTok? That it was a video that went viral a long time ago, but this guy, his wife played a joke on him because she knew that he was like always invested in her conversations. And so he was in the bathroom brushing his teeth and she was out there on the phone, and the camera was facing this way. She was on the phone and she started talking and she goes, "What? You see him?" I just head out of the bathroom and then he goes, "Oh, hey, what they telling? They telling something to us? What?" And I mean, she was like egging on because she knew that he is like, no, if they told you, that's what he said. He said, no, they're telling you. That means they're telling us. It was the best thing ever. And I'm like, no, there are some spouses, they besties like that. And if you're like, don't tell anybody, technically my spouse doesn't count.
Yeah.
Because
That is
they are
Jeff.
me.
Jeff is so invested in every single tea morsel that he can get. He loves it.
Just go to the door, babe.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happened today.
Sometimes when we get into bed, he's like, all right, what's the tea?
So, I know you said such and such was arguing. Did they work it out? He what? Sometimes the best responses to girl gossip is a dude's response.
Yes.
It cracks me up when they get so invested. What?
Are you invested in like, teacher drama? Like,
Oh,
in the school?
I will lend an ear to it.
I will lend an ear. Chivalrous behavior.
I don't actively seek it out. I don't try to, but sometimes big ears hear big things. And the words.
And then my little mouth gonna go tell other big ears.
I don't seek it out. I don't look for it. But sometimes when life gives you lemons, all of a sudden you make lemonade. And it's like, oh, I didn't intentionally hear this story. This isn't intentional. It's just in there now.
Yeah.
I don't know where these words came from.
I try to catch myself, but I'm like, if I had to catch myself as an adult, the kids, like, you got to teach them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, listen, I'm grown, and even I struggle to not be petty, especially if it's somebody that I don't like, because I feel like they always being petty toward other people. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to relish in their downfall. May find a little morsel of happiness that they finally got what's coming to them. So I can't really be mad at the kids, because I'm like, we are you and you are us. Mm-hmm. We're just the older version of you.
Exactly. But like one of the first rules of being a good employee or being a better employee is just shut up. Like, I've been in that situation before. I'm like, oh, I should just take my own advice and just shut my mouth. Yeah. Because it will keep me from getting in trouble.
That stops me dead in my tracks sometimes. Because there are times where I want to be like,
say, actually, I'm just going to not talk. And I'm going to prevent myself from doing something stupid and causing an issue. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm just not going to say what I'm thinking. I'm going to go back to my team. We're going to shut the door. And I'm going to say, here's how I feel. And I'm just going to tell it to them because I can trust them. And I will not announce it to everybody
I ain't gonna let
in the
everybody
school.
hear it. Right. And so maybe that's the difference between us and the kids sometimes.
That is
sometimes as adults, we can say wisdom-wise, like, hey, I probably need to let that go. That's not a hill I'm willing to die on. It's certain ways that I need to respond to things at work. I'm going to have to walk away on that. Mm-hmm. And we ain't perfect at it all the time. But the kids, us modeling that for them helps, you know what I'm saying? Because especially kids, the kids can tell when teachers are beefing with each other. Mm-hmm. They know. Mm-hmm. And they will juicy it up.
Oh, yeah.
They are like, oh, Miss Richardson, like, you see how they looked at? I'm like, stop. They didn't look no kind of way. They just walking by. Well, they didn't speak to you. They didn't see me. But there are some people that they're like, what? Oh, no, I don't like, I'm like, nah, don't do that. Because the kids, then you give them the kids license to do that. Yeah. I'm going to be petty in front of another adult. I can't be petty in front of kids because I don't want you to do that.
That's where the self-control comes in.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want you to mimic that behavior because then I'm going to get on to you for doing something that I showed you how to do. Mm-mm.
Especially when they're like bad-mouthing another teacher to your face.
Now, let me tell you something. One of the hardest things to do, and I'm just being transparent, is when a kid bad-mouths a teacher that you can't stand. I'm talking about wouldn't spit on them if they was on fire. And having to be like, hey, you may not like them. The kids don't need to know that you don't like them. And you are an adult. You squash that right now. Yep. Because that's another educator. And it's hard, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's not many people that I don't like that I've worked with. But it's some people that I genuinely was like, I don't really, care to be around you because I don't think you're a nice person. And you rude to the kids. And I have to, and like rude to the kids in like a bullying type of way, just really, something about it.
It's like being rude to the kids and it's being rude to like the other teachers, like the paraprofessionals.
Oh, I can't. I ain't finna let you carry on. Stop.
Yeah, right.
We don't talk about other teachers in here.
Exactly.
I always tell my students, no matter what teacher they're talking about, if they're saying something negative, I always say, hey, that's my friend you're talking about. Stop. And usually that squashes it.
Yeah.
Like,
Because the kids, we have a natural inclination to drama. So if kids see adults in drama, that's like license for them to carry on with their drama. We can't tell them to do something that we not modeling for them to see. And it's hard. I ain't saying it's easy, because it is hard. It's like walking through water with weights on your feet. Because this one particular time I'm thinking about, they was laying into this teacher. And I was like, you know what? Even though they deserve it, I am the adult in the room, and I cannot let this continue. But it also left room for a conversation with the kids about what it was that they were so frustrated about. So I took the conversation off of the teacher, and I said, what is it though that you really, well, they did it now. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Tell me, what is it about that's making you upset? So then they say, I don't like the way they talk to me. Okay. What and you are valid in that, because I don't want nobody hollering in my face, but it's also it's like a teachable moment. You don't have to let anybody holler in your face. You as a child, you have the freedom to take a step back. If they advance on you and continue hollering in your face, you have the freedom because you have rights. You don't have to let anybody holler in your face. But sometimes the way y'all handle things, you didn't handle it in the right way. Because a teacher hollering in your face and you turn around hollering back in their face, you still gonna get in trouble. Yeah. The teacher gonna get reprimanded for hollering in your face, but you still gonna get in trouble too, as opposed to you being able to tell the principal with that teacher that's hollering in your face, they're like, I wrote them up because I was talking to them and they just turned around and walked away. I said, I ain't telling you to turn around and walk away. I'm telling you, you got the freedom to take a step back. You don't gotta let nobody holler in your face. Yeah. But there's a way to handle things. I love when we're able to do that, because I am also able to say, when something similar like that happens to me, because Miss Richardson is very nook if you book. Drink your water and watch how you talk to me. I can't slap the taste out of somebody's mouth if I work with. One, I'm going to jail. Two, I'm going to lose my job. It's a way to respond to things. Yeah. Even if I feel like I'm in the right for going off on them, because how dare they talk to me like that. It's still a way that two wrongs don't make it right. Right.
I remember I was in high school and I heard an adult say this. The adult said, do as I say, not as I do. And even as a kid, I was like, what? That's bullcrap. I was like, that's such a cop out. That's like, I understand people are human, and there's a playbook to follow on things. Yeah. And as humans, we deviate from that and we make mistakes. But don't outright say, do what I say, but not as I do. I'm going to tell you what to do out of this side of my mouth, but this other side of my mouth, I'm going to do something. It's like, that's bullcrap. Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this in a previous episode, but like the idea that we can be vulnerable with these kids and show them that we're human, and and have the opportunity to apologize for something that we need to.
And there's a level of vulnerability too, because there are some teachers who are oversharing with kids.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying.
They ain't need to. I know that's not what you're talking about.
No, I know.
But it's some of y'all, them kids ain't your friend like that now.
Yep.
And also, please don't give it to those babies. Like, they can't take that on. They can't take that on.
Baby, they don't need to know your boyfriend came home at 1 a.m. and you found, what you know to be some other woman's lipstick in your man's car. Baby, the whole school finna know. And you told it to Mouth for the South. She finna tell everybody. Now your little business all sprinkled around the school. You could have had it told by Sprinkle. You could have had it told by a teacher bestie to her teacher bestie, but now you got it told to a kid, to their bestie, now the whole 6th grade know.
Messy.
Speaking of messy, one of the other things I've written down is like teachers who tell kids to keep their book bag clean, keep all their stuff organized, and then you look at some of these teachers' desks, and it's like, ooh,
those are disgusting human beings.
Let me tell you something.
Really? Were you?
You ain't gonna talk about me like that.
You're probably real type A, aren't you?
Messy.
No, you're not.
Type A. Are you
really?
Not type A at school?
Are you organized?
No. I'm type A at school.
Are you?
I'm not type A in my life, but at school, the way that binder, my teacher binder look right there.
That was a beautiful binder.
Got to see it through.
That was shocking to me. I felt my type B just like panicking
because
and like laughing it off.
Because am I not so type B in real life? That surprises me seeing it out of context. I'm like, what you doing over there? I needed a sheet of paper for this episode. Get away from me.
I was always that teacher that was, I think looking back at it now, like, and as a mom with toddlers, I'm looking at it a little differently. The chaos of the classroom, it overstimulated me to the point that like I needed everyone to pick up their stuff. Like, just pick it all up.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what my corner of the room looks like. It doesn't matter what my bedroom looks like. But like the toys,
Pick this
but
stuff
like
up.
even now, like at home, the toys are everywhere, and I get so overstimulated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm throwing everything away. Like, so I think it's just like
You're
the
getting
teacher
cold
thing.
for Christmas.
I think right. I think it's that teacher thing of just
Yeah.
And
And we should, maybe we should
that would
have,
be one thing that I'd
Yeah.
be like, do as I say, not as I do. Like,
maybe we should have a whole episode on how the workday is very overstimulating to teachers.
I've made a bunch of videos
There's
about
so
that,
much
like why teaching is so overstimulating. And oh my gosh, there's always so many teachers that are like, thank you for
It is.
trying to articulate this.
And sometimes we don't even realize that we're being overstimulated because I'm like,
No.
why am I so on edge? And it's like,
I
Yeah.
was watching a TikTok, and this teacher had one of the counters, and she counted how many
Yeah.
times her name was said in her like second grade classroom, and she like did check-ins, and by the end of the day, it was 893 times that her name was said.
Wow, that's insane.
893.
Maybe we just came up with the next episode talking point.
man, for real,
Maybe
because
Maybe
the way
we
I would
did
have to
it.
be in a padded room if somebody said my name, 800. I don't even let Peyton say mommy more than one time. Bro, I heard you, cuz.
My name is
Mommy,
Ishki
mommy,
Bibble
mommy.
now.
Rapping Scabernabber. I mean, what? Right. Stop
Yeah.
saying my name.
That's funny. Do you guys have any other ones written down that rules that apply to students, but not really that teachers would deviate
Apparently,
from?
we all had a similar
Kind of
one.
had the
Yeah.
same ones.
Yeah.
I think it is so important to model. Like it really, like yeah, there's some little small things that will be different, but as teachers, we really should model what it is to like the classroom rules. And one of the reasons why I do my videos online is because I want to model to students and show them here's how you can act on social media and keep things appropriate. Yeah,
Yes.
because and I'll die on this hill. As teachers, we are always called to be models and be role models. And we live in this era of social media. Social media is not going anywhere.
No.
We know that for a fact. So as teachers, we can either put our head in the sand, act like it doesn't exist, or we go the other way and say, hey, let's embrace this. Let's be role models.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean
They
that
can't be
every
humans.
teacher should be a teacher influencer. That is not
Right,
what
right,
I'm
right.
saying at all. I'm saying if teachers want to be influencers and they want to do it appropriately, go for it.
Right. Right.
Now, appropriate is subjective, so people could say, well, that's not appropriate, this is appropriate, but most people probably agree on
across
what
the board.
Yeah, but you could be splitting hairs. But that's one of the reasons why I try to have my online presence to show students, like, here's how you can act online and get a following, be an influencer or whatever you want to call it, and have things be clean and not just stir the pot and cause drama and just try to make things, engagement farmy.
Right.
And I don't know.
Your social media is giving Captain America vibes.
That is
I like that.
so nice. I really
like
appreciate
that.
that.
But I thought about
Thank
your
you.
social media. I'm like, you know what? You have a very
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
crisp, clean, but the right amount of humor and the right amount of you got.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Got a
Yeah.
good little,
There's a lot of ugliness out on social media. I've never really
and I've
thought
never
about it
seen
that.
anything ugly on yo.
Oh, I appreciate that. And same with both of you. I mean, you guys do such a good job of talking about what it's like being a teacher, and you do it in a professional way where it's not offensive to people or putting down kids. Like, we all make videos about goofy things that kids do and say, but it's not like we're, haha, look at these kids. That's not what,
Because
like,
there are some
kids
people
aren't.
there are some people that view our skits like that.
Yeah.
that we're making fun of the kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not in the classroom.
Yeah, it's like, nope,
okay,
that's
man.
not what we're
Okay.
doing.
You don't have
It's
to say
all
that
right,
out
man.
loud.
Yeah.
Because somebody said that to me one time. They were like, your skits make it seem like you just don't like your students. I can't even take offense to that because I know it's not true.
Yeah.
Like a hit dog will holler, and I have no. That doesn't invoke anything in me because I know it's not true.
I'm going to put that in the book of Briisms.
I
A
know.
hit dog will holler.
It's a Southern saying.
I've never heard that. I love it, though.
It's a Southern saying.
I love it.
Speaking of Southern sayings, so long, y'all.
Oh! That was
that
good.
too bad? Okay.
No, that was great.
That was fantastic, Manchester. I want you to talk in a country accent all the time now.
So long, y'all.
Can you do your British accent? Can you sound us off in your British
Should
accent?
we have a conversation in
No.
our different accents?
What?
Should we have a conversation in our different accents?
Is that what I sound like?
No. No.
Ho!
Not at all.
Oh, don't you know? Oh, you know, it snows all the time. Oh, up in South Dakota. Oh, don't you know?
Well, in a couple of weeks, we're going to
We're
have a
drinking a
huge
coladas.
announcement
Oh, we weren't supposed to tell
about
him?
Cancun.
Oh, whew. Okay.
Say Cancun.
I was like, I can't keep a secret. Can you say Cancun fast 5 times? Board Teachers Comedy Tour is coming to Cancun.
Oh.
Ooh.
Rumor has it, according to sources.
This how we're going to be turned up in Cancun.
So stay tuned for a huge announcement coming in a couple weeks. We cannot wait.
Period.
Ugh. I might spill it.
I might spill a tequila
can't-
shot.
Period.
Down my throat.